Wednesday stream here on lichess and Twitch. International Master Micro Ponda. Hello, happy Halloween. Welcome everybody. No seance today, I'm sorry. We're just going to play chess. It's going to be 5+3 through 7+3. Subscribers get first pick. And the theme is unusual openings. That's what we do on Wednesdays. Weird Wednesday. I try to play systems that I don't normally use in my everyday chess repertoire without getting too ridiculous. Clash Kid, what's up? How does this time suit everyone? I won't often be able to do the daytime streams like this. It's better for me to do mostly late afternoon. But I want to try to do sometimes Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12. I know it's probably a little better for the European players. Clash Kid, it's 7 p.m. where you're at right now. There's an hour difference, or is it? Because we changed the clock here, it became 7 hours different instead of 6. So it must be 7 p.m. in mainland Europe. Oh, 5 p.m. I'm confused. All right. So we set the clock back. All right, I'm 5. I'm sorry. I was thinking the other way around. It's a 5-hour difference, not 7. Okay, that's how much I know. 5-hour difference. So yeah, it's 5 there instead of 6. Try to understand. We pushed our clocks forward. Spring forward, fall back. No, we put our clocks back. Never mind. Anyway, let's just worry about playing chess here. Time keeping is not my strong point. I'm confused. Alex also. So Alex is probably an hour later. You're at 6. 6-hour difference. Actually, right now my family, my kids are in Romania. In fact, they're in Romania and Transylvania now. Alex. So celebrating Halloween in at Frankenstein's in Dracula's castle. The Dracula jokes are always very common with the Romanian stuff. So you can visit Dracula's castle. I think I did. We talked about this before. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock for you. No, 9 a.m. in Japan. Wow. 9 a.m. for Azerbaijan. It's in Las Vegas. Close. Azerbaijan is 3 hours. He's West Coast. USA West Coast. Japan, I don't know, man. It's got to be quite different. Yeah, the Bran Castle. But they're out near Brasov. So let's get started and get some challenges. 5+3 through 7+3. Where's CET? CET in Portugal. Okay. So what's Portugal? That would be like European time, or Lisbon is the same as like Madrid and other and Paris and stuff. I'm guessing. I don't know. But all right, anyway, let's get some challenges, guys. We've got no challenges yet. We're supposed to be playing unusual openings, blitz, and rapid chess. Thanks, Alex. Fortunately, I have to be here in the old United States temporarily. Let's get some challenges. I'm going to have to start playing random people, guys. I have to jump into like a tournament or create a random game. Create random game. Not Chess 960 today. Standard. So feel free to challenge me anything between 5+3 and 7+3. 5+5 is cool. You don't be the first victim. Alright. Well, I'm pretty bad when I start out usually. This is the time to beat me. Madeira Island. I don't know exactly. That's not like the Azores or Azores or something like that, is it? E4. C5. The area where I live in the United States actually had a lot of. It was an area settled by a lot of Portuguese. We had a lot of Portuguese fishermen move out to the United States, settle here. In the region where I live now. Interesting history. definitely let me know when I visit Romania. Okay, well maybe anything's possible. Maybe next year, maybe in 2019. I'll probably have a chance to go. At some point in 2019. Okay, bishop c4. If things go well. But bishop c4, it's kind of a good move against d6, I think in particular. But against knight c6 is kind of early. I haven't played d6. I can play e6. Play against the bishop on c4. This is good. This is good for black, I would think. Although I don't often play d5 right away. We might be able to play like this. Attack that pawn on e4. If he plays e5, we play d5. I was supposed to play unusual openings. I forgot already. Oh well. In Austria, we don't understand. I mean, the people I know. I live in Hungary. They also don't really get the Halloween thing. I mean, it's the Day of the Dead in most, Catholic countries, the day after. Halloween is simply connected to that. It's the eve of the Day of the Dead. Alright, so I was supposed to play unusual openings. We'll get started next game. I got too distracted begging for a game here. I forgot that I'm supposed to not play my main openings, which is the Sicilian, in fact. Yeah, I mean, a lot of places it's getting more popular. My kids are going to a Halloween party in Romania right now, actually. So, at a friend's house. It's catching on. Like, it's kind of a Hallmark holiday. Hallmark is like a greeting card company. So these holidays are heavily promoted. One of the most popular holidays for kids and just having fun. But there was a not funny, kind of scary story on BBC I saw recently where there was a woman who had some Halloween decorations, like fake tombstones, that she bought at some store, and opened it up, and inside there was this note from this like Chinese worker who worked in like a labor camp where they made these products, and he sent this message to like try to get help for the people in this prison camp or whatever that were forced to do a lot of labor without good conditions. And he was saying how he thought he later escaped to like another country like Singapore or somewhere, but maybe Indonesia, I don't remember, but he said that he didn't understand how people could celebrate a holiday where it's like about death and ghosts and goblins. So in a lot of strange cultures, it seems very strange, doesn't it? Play the Borg with g5. Okay, this knight e5 move is pretty early. So in certain cultures, Halloween must be really, really weird. I mean, living in Hungary, no one really understood it. I know from firsthand experience. But they try to copy it anyway. Okay, knight takes d3. We're just winning this pawn on d3, so we confused Artie Fufkin. The ancient Celts tried to appease wicked spirits with sweets. That's interesting. I mean, I know in Romania, for example, they make loud noises and stuff on the street to try to scare away the bad spirits. There's some pagan cultural things that still exist today. This banging on loud, trash can lids and stuff like that actually happens as a way of like scaring off the bad spirits or whatever. Alright, let's see, rook e2. But anyway, that's our Halloween theme for today. Right, absolutely. Pagan origins. Next game, we're going to start playing unusual openings. We got challenges now. So, watch for this e5 threat. But if he takes on d3, I'm on the rook. I mean, maybe this is a mistake for me because he can actually take and play rook e3, which essentially gives him a double threat of playing rook takes d3 and e5. But I have something even there. Bishop takes cd, rook e3, knight g4, double attack on h2, and he might be able to play both bishops. Bishop f6. So his best line, bishop f6, wouldn't work either. Actually, yeah, there's nothing for white here especially good. Our modern day noisy cities scare them away. That's right. That's right, Acerbate. There's not too many spirits left in Las Vegas with all the crazy night stuff that goes on there. The city that never sleeps. Almost no ghosts left. So, it's Weird Wednesday, guys. It's also Halloween. Having a little discussion about Halloween. My dad usually has some eggs prepared. Usually we don't get a visit on Halloween. Now that's Easter. Easter is different. Alright. I'm just kidding with you. Having fun at your expense. I wanted to do a chess seance, but it never materialized. Get it? Materialized? It's pretty funny. Knight f4. That's why I'm the Joker. What's up, Blue Eyed Albino? A game again. I cannot pronounce that name when I say it quickly. We're having a little trouble keeping the e5 square under control. That's a fork I don't want to see right now. Acerbate's computer crashed. Okay, guys, we're streaming today till 2:30. Then tomorrow is our subscriber stream on Thursday evening. Oh, the eggs. Your neighbor's house once got bombarded with eggs. That's what you do the day after Halloween in America. You like do bad stuff and bombard your neighbor's house with eggs. And when I was a kid, I used to try to put potatoes in the neighbor's exhaust pipes, but it never seemed to actually work. Like they say, if you put a potato into a car exhaust pipe, it would like cause it not to work or something. But it never actually worked for me. All right. I wouldn't mind getting that dark squared bishop. The shoe thing. It's interesting. The history of holidays. But yeah, not a lot of kids where I'm at, so it's mostly senior citizens. So we don't expect a lot of kids coming to the door and asking for candy and stuff like that. Who's going to say hi to Houdini? Houdini, the chess engine? Alright, let's take it this way. I want to take this way just to keep absolute control of the d4 square. See, he's like immediately going for that. And that allows me to make sure that knight will ever take up a really powerful position. Good stuff. So, almost feel like it's better to go here. Though it is a little bit more passive. I have to think about my king safety too. I have reservations about this, but I'm being too picky. What's the origin of picky? Yeah, this is the move I was fearing. It's Artie Fufkin he's getting troublesome, troubling me with these annoying moves like b4. Another good move. I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna have to like castle or leave my king in the center, make a decision here. I don't have to make a decision, but I want to connect my rooks, get all my pieces in the game. Guess we don't have to castle. Everyone's playing where they stand. But Artie really defending well after a clumsy open. Though he closes the queen side. This is, for some reason, I didn't think he would do that. That bishop's very dominant, but he just found a very strong move. Now I'm gonna have to literally play rook back to h8. I can't afford to lose that pawn. That's just too vital. That was a major oversight on my part. Very good D by Artie Fufkin. Did not see queen c1, and I cannot afford to lose that pawn. Yeah, well, king safety, pivotal here. Now I can castle queenside. You know, I really had no ability to do that if the A file, or at least it would have been highly risky. Maybe the bishops could have saved me, but it would be more risky if the A file was open. Here there's like zero risk, and I think that's maybe the problem with A5. Ultimately, taking away the potential to open the A file, which could only benefit white. You know, if he's got the lever, he's got the ability to do that at any moment. Now he's almost preventing me from playing F5 here. It's a really strong move. What an annoying position. Amazing defense. He seems to see little things like pressurizing the E5 pawn prevented F5. Now he's putting pressure on the D pawn. So good play defensively. How do you decide when to leave the king in the center, when to castle? Well, yeah, this is obviously not a trivial thing. And I can't play F5. You can seriously take that? This is ridiculous. He just keeps having defenses to everything, basically. I'm gonna have to play like F6, then he has counterplay of a different type. Man, this is really crazy. It's almost like I have to sacrifice something, it looks like. Can I do this as a sacrifice? Come on. It's gotta work. This has gotta work. Or does it? He's got a defense to everything, believe it or not. Maybe I have E4, E3? No. Man, he just didn't care. You're serious about this? Just cleared the E1 square. Now that's defended as well. Man. Queen F1 instead. I thought knight E1 would be played. It's amazing how much force I have lined up with those bishops, and he's still... I guess this move wasn't necessary. I suppose I could have taken on E4 at that point. Finds another defense. Man. This is an awesome pawn formation. Oh, this is crazy. What do you call this? Man, look at that. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That feels like I have 9 pawns on the board right now. 9 pawns against 7. You get the feeling that Artie enjoys defense. Those are, yeah, the traditional Irish pawns are supposed to be like, aren't they supposed to be like isolated? Alright. I feel like I'm cashing in my chips here too early. Just winning a mere exchange. Move 11, we just got here. Oh, he just dropped a rook. So it was too much. But it was a credible defense for a long time. I think the opening was really great. But I've got to place, this is our first game. It took a long time. Man, the game lasted forever. These 7+3s. So Clash Kid, move 11, good to see you. Blue-Eyed Albino, Asterbait, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to take the subscribers first. Move 11, what's up? Happy Halloween to everybody. I'm supposed to play unusual openings. By the way, like chess, lichess has this Frankenstein Dracula thematic blitz or rapid like going on, but they only do the first couple moves. E4, E5, knight F3. No, sorry, knight C3. Let's see, how does it go? Knight C3, knight F6, bishop C4, knight takes E4, and it goes from there. But I feel like if they want to have a thematic tournament with the Frankenstein Dracula variation, they have to go a few moves further. Like, my opponent played knight takes E4, which is just bad for white. So they should take it a few moves further. In other words, like knight takes E4, queen H5 at least, and then play from there, because my opponent just didn't know what to do, and he like blundered immediately on the first move. Alright, so Clash Kid, play something with E4 that I don't normally play. These guys are subscribers. We're going to take them first, and then if we get time, we will play other players as well. So Clash Kid playing E4, E5. I'm going to play the King's Gambit. This is not the Frankenstein Dracula variation. Frankenstein Dracula. No, D5. Chicken, mushrooms. Mushrooms, chicken, mushrooms. Alright. That was a dish at a popular, iconic American chain restaurant. E4, E5, F4, D5. And then we've got to take this guy here on D5. And in my bathroom is 200 Open Games by Bronstein, which I was reading, and a lot of the games feature, you know, the King's Gambit. So E takes F4, going back into main line. We had Bishop E2 played against me, which was a weird move the other day. I guess knight F3 is pretty standard here. Yeah, that's just bad for white. The poor guy plays the thematic tournament and immediately like does knight takes E4. But it's not intuitive to find queen H5 right off the bat. Okay, so Clash Kid probably knows this better than me. Unfortunately, I didn't follow those Bronstein games deep enough. I know we're supposed to like develop our pieces. Generally a good idea. But I have no clue about the theory here. Well, Blue Eyed Albino said I like Bishop C4 for white here. That's what I played. I know if Bishop E5 check, black can probably sack a pawn with C6. I don't know if you'd even call it a pawn sack, because white's already sacked a pawn. There many are convinced that Bran is the actual castle of Vlad, Tepesh Vlad. The citadel of Ponan is the actual one. Yeah, there's some confusion about Dracula's real castle. As I said to Alex, who's from Romania, I've been to one or two of the castles there. The ones closest to Brasov. But I'm sure I can remember like which one is which. My family's at a Halloween party for Romanians, no, Hungarian Romanians. And they're in Transylvania, which is a mixed part of Romania where there's a lot of Hungarians. Queen E7. Everyone thinks of Transylvania, they think of like, oh, ghosts and goblins, but it's just a major territory in Romania. Not just the place where, you know, Dracula and Frankenstein came from. Actually, Frankenstein is Mary Shelley. That's something else. I like the original Dracula story though, by Bram Stoker. I mean, that's good reading. I really enjoyed reading the original Dracula. So Queen E7 check. Yeah, that's a problem with Bishop C4 now. What do I do? What would Bronstein do? You trade queens here? I mean, it's equal material, so I would suppose we can do this. We'll trade queens. The King's Gambit has a positional opening. I like gothic horror novels and stuff like that, but I'm not an expert. Bishop d6. This move was just securing the f-pawn, and now he can castle kingside. So the question becomes, is my king a target in the center of the board here? I think, you know, I don't know. I have some sort of inclination to play like rook e1 and put my king on f1. Let's just go with your gut instinct. There's always something about the gut instinct, especially for an experienced player, that that you have to trust. Alright. Seems like I'm wasting time, admittedly. Now maybe that's the problem with this whole variation for white. I had to spend a lot of time to get my king out of the center while he's able to castle. So the Halloween Gambit, we're talking about this Candela. We're talking about the Dracula Frankenstein variation, which lichess now has they have both, the Halloween Gambit thematic and the Dracula Frankenstein thematic, but the poor Dracula Frankenstein thematic should be extended a few moves because my opponent like immediately messed it up, like on move 4 or whatever. But the Halloween Gambit is Acerbate's favorite, and we had that the other day with Acerbate. So maybe we can get another version of that today. Here I'm suddenly wondering something. Just got to go with the flow. Queen e7 is a novelty. Wow. Well, okay. If we use the lichess Opening Explorer, it's possibly a novelty. But that doesn't mean it's a novelty. You might want to look it up in like a reliable private, but a reliable, you know, chess database like ChessBase. Because I'm not of the opinion that like the lichess Opening Explorer is that thorough. Zen Chess, thank you for resubscribing. The lichess Opening Explorer, you know, is like a, I don't know who creates that. It's like, it's not actually made by lichess. It's like something that you subscribe to, and you buy it for your site, and you can use it. Other sites have the same Opening Explorer. I'm not sure who provides that, but the first problem with it is that it only includes games where both players are over 2,200. And this is a problem because in some instances, I guess, you're going to have situations where you have older players, let's say, you know, from Morphe's era or a little later, and, you know, they didn't have ratings back then, so those games can't qualify. A lot of historical games can't qualify. I mean, even some games from the 30s and 40s, I'm not sure that ratings really even existed across the board. So there's a lot of important games that, you know, for an opening like the King's Gambit, you can probably count on finding some games with that move, Queen e7, if we look in a historical database rather than Opening Explorer. I bet we'll find some games. A friendly wager, you know, not for money, just I would be willing to bet that Queen e7 has been played before. I don't know the theory well enough. And I'm not sure if I reacted the right way, you know. Even trading queens is not a no-brainer. I guess I could try to play really, you know, aggressively with King f1. I just dismissed King f2, obviously losing a piece. That's good. So King f1 would be interesting, but also risky. So he's playing c6 here, which honestly would leave him with an inferior structure. So it also opens up my bishop on c4. Kind of surprising development. I wonder if I should play a5. This loses time, but he keeps his knight off of this square. And that, in a way, protects my bishop on c4. Obviously, rook a4 is my plan. Come across here. So it's Weird Wednesday when I play openings that I don't typically play. The King's Gambit is one of them. I've played the King's Gambit for fun, you know, off and on in my life, but never really studied it seriously. I have one King's Gambit book, I think, in my chess library. Joe Gallagher wrote a book in the mid '90s, probably, which I think I picked up. Now, I'm thinking that I saw a more recent book by Neil MacDonald or someone. I don't know why I want to say Neil MacDonald. Is that right? Does anybody know? Is there anything that Soltis didn't write a book about, Antonio? Soltis has a book on the King's Gambit. I mean, he's a good writer, but he did write a lot of books about things that he probably wasn't like an expert on, I guess. But I do like a lot of his stuff. The best thing that Soltis ever wrote was a book about his own games called Confessions of a Grandmaster. I highly recommend that book. It's excellent. The Fascinating King's Gambit by Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Johannesson. Now, bishop b7 anyway, which was one of the reasons why he played c6 to eventually bust out and get this bishop on the long diagonal. The book I mentioned by Soltis, The Confessions of a Grandmaster, might be very hard to find because it's like probably had fairly limited publication. All right, bishop b7. That's a good move. Obviously, his structure looks ugly. Can I play d4? Things are getting kind of weird. I feel like this weakens my structure. I had strong inclinations to play d3 instead of d4. Watch the f7 square. He can always block with knight d5, though. I hope I don't lose my a5 pawn. Happy Halloween to everyone. Infinite Flash Chess, Antonio. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We've got 5 challenges. I'm going to take the subscriber challenges first. That guy's challenged me, actually, is Wiggles. Gwegles has to re-challenge. I don't play this fast 3+2 because it's too hard to commentate with the fast time control, and also rated is not acceptable. So we do unrated or casual, and it's got to be at least 5+3. So if G Wiggles wants to re-challenge me, we'll keep his place after Acerbate, but actually we can't because the subscribers will be first. But anyway, if you want to re-challenge me, just please make it casual. All right. We got some issues here. I mean, he's got e3. My first plan was to take this, go back, hang on to our extra pawn, and then play like knight e5. He stopped knight e5, Psychic Network. But the more aggressive move for black here is knight f6, trying to get into e4. He maybe saw knight e5 and didn't like that. He may be right. So f6 guarding against knight e5. Okay. Both sides have very powerful respective majorities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had this very strange, idea here. I had a strange idea here that I was up a pawn. And this happens sometimes. It's a psychological, I don't know what to call it, psychological trick. Where you trick yourself into thinking. It's like double-edged. Wow, he took. He opens up his own bishop, but he also gives me roving connected pass pawns in the center. Otherwise called rovers. No, I'm just kidding. But no, the protected pass pawns in the center, quite dynamic. His pieces are well placed though, so I'm not sure about this. Wow. Life getting complicated here. Crazy situation. Very imbalanced pawn structure. You gotta love it. Alright. He's trying to play knight c6, kids. We can't enjoy that too much. Uncle Nate. Alright. Things are getting sharp. Two connected pass pawns for me. Pawn quality. We're testing pawn quality in these waters. There is no such terminology, sir. I have no idea if I should trade there or not. His pawns are better blockaded than mine. Is that worth anything? It's a really good question. Honestly, don't have a clue. There's got to be something I can do here. An epic battle. Bishop's in a good position. Looks like he's gonna lose his e5 pawn. Alright, man. Really tough game. Wow. I have no idea. That's probably some kind of freaky draw if black was okay at some point. That endgame, man, I mean, it feels like you shouldn't be lost here. Because we both have 2 connected passed pawns. You were lost for 20 moves? I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. The computer may agree. Are you sure this is lost? It says you're lost. But, you know, it's not really that obvious when you're playing the game that black's necessarily lost here, guys. Alright, let's, I wasn't certain about anything. Blue-Eyed Albino, Acerbate, Zen Chess, Morales, and then we'll play Zweigles and other guys who are not subscribers. That's what I was thinking if it flash chess. Maybe black could draw there. That's like, yeah, I didn't think I had any risk. All right, this is a mouse slip. You can opt to give me a take back if you want to. I played A5 by accident. I meant to play A6, but it's cool. All right, we'll do it this way. So A5, A4. The mouse slip defense. It is weird openings today, but I did not intend on playing A5. You want to do take back? Now I have to do like 3 take backs. I need one more. You make me play A5 and then not play A4. It's cool. So I wanted to play the St. George defense, which is something that I do play from time to time. A5 not recommended. The A5 move probably it's not a novelty, Clash Kid. I'm sure it's been played by somebody, but I don't really get the point. Whereas A6 is an attempt to play like an improved Owen defense with the extended fianchetto. Van Wink opening. Wink Van Ripple. Alright. Bishop E7 here. We've played this many times. Now, move 1. I've heard of move 11. Blunder, mouse slip on move 1. Not that common. Bishop D3 is probably the best move. I typically see Queen E2, though, instead of Knight D2. I'm not sure. I always thought Queen E2 was slightly better because you, in a perfect world, would get black to play like C5, C3, CD, CD, and be able to put your knight on C3. So try to keep that knight back. Clash Kid just donated 947 bits, guys, to the stream for this week, instantly taking the Halloween bit lead. You have the new badge now. You have the bit leader for the week. That is awesome. Thank you, Clash Kid. The Halloween bit leader for the week ahead. Thanks. Take care, Alex. Thanks for stopping by. But really generous, Clash Kid. Tough game. I'm going to take a look at that game after the stream, probably, because I thought your idea as well with Queen E7 was worthy of investigation. I call E4, A5, it's the bamboo. What about the bamboo, Acerbate? Is it like E4, H5? Thanks again, Clash Kid. Awesome donation after a tough game. Takes a big man to lose and donate to the stream. But it was a good fight, and I wasn't certain I was winning. You know, you could, oh yeah, I definitely knew I was winning. No, I didn't. I didn't know for sure. I know I'm better, but I'm not certain that it's winning. But it's like he's too short spatially. You know, he ran out of moves. This badge is a lot better than the red one. Good. Wow, weird move now, C4. A little weird. I mean, sometimes I've seen that type of idea, but not this early. When black is allowed to play like C takes D, we get something that's really akin to the Sicilian defense. But he also wants me to take on C4 and like improve his knight, let's say. His knight on C4 could be well placed. Then again, I mean, maybe I could play D5. The original idea to play for C4. So he's trying to justify the early knight to D2 in some way. It just feels like black should have something good here, but I don't see exactly what that something is. Okay, so the knight on C4 would be quite the powerful piece. I'd rather avoid that, but I can't just ignore this completely. Reminds me of a semi-Slav a little bit. Are you playing that new Arena Magic Arena game? Oh, Arsenal fans here. Hey, what's up, Arsenal fan? You taking up Magic the Gathering as an alternative to chess. Well, it's okay to take a break from chess, man. That's understandable. I think that's very healthy and normal. No matter what it is, step away for a while. I took too long off playing poker. It really, in a critical time of my life, I kind of regret it. Between 2010 and 2015, I basically almost didn't play chess at all. And then I'm kind of like, wow, maybe I could have become a grandmaster or something if I had been doing chess instead of poker. But you can only make one choice, and then I guess it's better not to regret our choices later on. Just kind of, accept what we did, and you can always regret, second guess yourself for everything you do. So good luck with whatever you do, Arsenal. Okay, c takes b5 now. I basically sacked a pawn, and I think we need to make sure that, well, I didn't really sack a pawn. I'm just lying. I'm not basically sacking a pawn. I'm not sure about this move, though. I didn't see a great way of defending the d4 pawn. I guess I am sacking a pawn. I didn't know about it. No one's ever played exactly like this against me before, with the c4 idea. So I'm basically sacking a pawn. Alright. He's playing it like an open Sicilian. Quitting chess forever seems impossible. That's true. Especially when you start from such an early stage, although, I see so many players who became GMs who I know, Patrick Wolf, Ilya Gurevich, people from New England where I was really playing a lot in my former life. American people, grandmasters, tend to quit more than, say, the European variety. I think in our American culture, chess isn't as deeply accepted. If I tell a stranger, not a strange person, if I tell a stranger in Europe that I'm like a professional chess player, the reaction is kind of like typically, oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of like, Tigran Petrosian or Peter Lako or something like that, But if you tell an American I'm a professional chess player, they're kind of, oh, that's interesting, that's weird. That's really a weird thing to do. Or, you get some reaction like that. So, anyway, very dynamic play here from Blue-Eyed Albino that I don't know him too well as a player. Very dynamic reaction. What to say? I'm terrified of castling. Can I play d6? This looks super scary. We're just gonna have to go with the flow. It's a fast time control, and I'm treating it like it's 7+3 with a lot of time. But strange person is anyone who doesn't play chess. Yeah, they try to say it politely, like, oh, that's really weird, But that's interesting. So I don't know enough about Blue-Eyed Albino, but he's playing really aggressive gambit style, creative with c4 though. I think that white is better here. I mean, we're both playing gambit style. It reminds me of the semi-Slav, as I said earlier. We're just gonna have to go with the flow. The Marin, to be exact. It could be like a Marin. Very, very similar. I don't have a good position, though, for my king, really. I was afraid to castle last move. That was the thing. That was the defining thing about the last move, when I guess I played d6 on move 10. If I castled, I felt that e5, knight d5, queen e4 was a very strong attack for white. And I've been using that type of stratagem, for a long time with the white pieces here. Now, rook c1. The tactical possibilities here are virtually endless. Okay, I've got a bigger problem though, it looks like. We've got to be very careful. The sacrifices on d4. I just saw that I have bishop a6. That could turn the tables on him a little bit. Well, maybe not. You know, maybe it's not a big deal. Though he won't be able to castle. If he plays bishop c6, I have bishop a6. So it kind of takes the wind out of his sails with the bishop c6, I would say. He has queen d2, but he's basically playing down a rook right now on h1. So we just do it. The other thing that bothered me was knight h4 to f5. I have zero fear of this. I'm actually happy I can play like g6 and walk the king back here to safety. And it's looking like we have a very strong attack. His king is not really safe. Is my king safe? That's another question. My king is safer than his king. Where do I want to put this? Centralized queen. Is his king escaping from the center? Is that what's happening here? Okay, it's just a blitz game. Yeah, there he played a little bit too fast, I think. But he still may be better. I have no clue. Seems like a really strong blitz player. Just practical. Okay, this was just a blunder, I guess. Wow. G4. He wasn't winning, but I allowed G4, so that just wins. That's an amazing move. Like a study. Yeah, that's an amazing move to find with no time left. Wow. G4. It was just totally drawn until that. H takes G5 is winning too. The table base is saying just H takes G5 is winning, but I'm confused. So I don't get it. I mean, it just looks like G4 is winning. So I played G5. I guess I was lost all the way. King and pawn in game. Okay. So it was close, but we're just lost all the way. Thought this was okay. Wow. I'm surprised the other line is winning though. After HG. B7. Here. This is winning for white? How is this winning for white? Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I thought this was a draw because I could play like H3. So this is winning for white too. Wow. H4. So the point is he goes here, and I can't play G4. Yeah, so he just has the opposition. Here, he's winning. Winning in all positions. Yeah. So I was better, but it was a crazy game. I think the opening was better for white. I thought the opening was better for white too after this. Okay, let's go to the next game. So Acerbate is up next. We lost again. Man, I thought the endgame was a draw, but I was wrong on both variations. He doesn't even need to play G4. He could just do HG and win. I thought at first HG was winning, then I thought I had H5, H4, H3, but that doesn't work because his king just gets to G4 too fast. We'll play something different here. So knight F3, B6, unusual openings, difficult to play here with white. The Polish. That was devastating, yeah. But I was better at some point. He was just walking around with his king. A little like my game with Zen Chess yesterday, where his king was under serious threat, but he just defended really well. I was kind of disappointed with myself there, though. I thought I was easily better. And I knew it, but couldn't find concrete moves fast enough. I shouldn't have allowed a trade of queens. That was like the decisive thing. But I didn't see a good way to avoid the trade of queens. About the time when I played queen d5, I realized that I was seriously better. But I didn't have time to really find the best plan. And so that's blitz. Good endgame. So we're playing the same thing with colors reversed now. B6 against knight f3. Actually, b6 against knight f3 is better than, say, against like e4. White has less options in this case. If I try to play e4, you play bishop e7. If I play knight c3, you can play like e6 and bishop e4. No, I feel like it's just slightly more justified to play b6 against knight f3 than, say, against e4 on the first move. White has a little bit less options. Good job. So, Zen Chess, who played a really tough game against me yesterday, Morales, and then Arsenal Fan is he's not a subscriber anymore, right? So those two guys are subscribers. Then we'll go to some of the non-subscribers when we can. You had a king and pawn endgame yesterday, a knight up. That's not a king and pawn endgame. Like, that's a knight endgame with an extra piece or something. That's funny. He's like, I had a king and pawn endgame with a knight up. All right, Acerbate. What are you doing here? This looks a little bit passive. E6, D6. Sort of hedgehog, hippopotamus here. I'm not so good in time pressure when I'm doing the stream. I'm a little bit better when I'm playing off stream. I have the ability to concentrate fully on the game, so I lose a little bit off my game, but I can't make an excuse. I don't play quite as well in time pressure, I think, when I'm streaming as I would. I like to think I wouldn't have lost the game if I wasn't streaming, but I don't know. I mean, I can lose any position. It also depends on how you're feeling at the time. Sometimes you're playing much more sharply than others. But today I feel pretty good. I've been kind of groggy a lot lately, complaining about brain fog and stuff like that, going through a lot of stress with my personal life. So I've got to take care of my mom. She's got some issues, and it's coming over to the continent from Europe suddenly, moving from place to place. It's not easy. I don't think my game has been quite 100% lately, but it's not bad. I've actually improved my lichess rating a little bit. We're at number 11 in rapid on lichess as of today. It was a king and pawn game for him. That's right. That's right, Arsenal fan. But don't put too much stock in the ratings. So Acerbate has played a basic hedgehog type formation here, and it's solid. It's a little bit passive for black. We've got a lot of... Yeah, he may end up I think he should end up playing like d5, probably in 2 moves, because if he doesn't, what does he have for a plan? White's position isn't so great. Dim 100 for the number 10 in rapid. The problem with the top 10 in those rating categories is that people just keep appearing out of the blue. Like old accounts who weren't active for a while will reactivate, and one day you're like number 9, and the next day you're like number 13. Because people just start to come back from wherever they were. I don't care about it too much. It's just kind of fun to... Acerbate, come on. Acerbate's big problem is playing impulsively. Now, today he's a little slower than usual, actually. He's used quite a bit of his time. I'm not sure, though. Where was he using this time? Well, I've been talking. He's actually used over 2-3 minutes. That's a good sign, but he made an impulsive move now, 95. Just losing, essentially just losing a central pawn. So, Dim, thank you for the donation, 100 bits. Clash Kid is in first place with 947. I'm not sure. Maybe that was just how many bits he had. I wasn't sure there was a significance between 947 here on Halloween. And Dim with second place for the week, 600 bits. Thank you for supporting the stream, guys. Antonio said, I did the same on Sunday on lichess, lost 150 points in a row. Well, I recommend it if you're playing really badly, you should probably stop playing. That's always good advice. I mean, it's possible that you were just unlucky. Acerbate knows the enemy is the king here. He's good at attacking directly, but he's sometimes a little too direct about it. So, you need to think about the whole position. Well, Acerbate lost a pawn and now he's kind of desperate. I believe in accumulation of advantages. Acerbate is more playing for direct mating attacks. Sometimes he'll compromise his position, being a little too one-dimensional. A little too two-dimensional. A little too one-dimensional. Alright, we're going to weaken our king side. Now, if you're creative, you can play f5 there, Acerbate. This is also a funky move. Knight h6. That's cool. We need to get connected. Alright. When you don't play well, you start playing bullet. Well, that's something that, if you did play bullet, yeah, if I did play bullet, I would do it after I lost some games to feel better. You can play a lot of games. For me, the hardest thing is losing, and I want to play another game. The hardest thing is losing and having that be the last game you played was a losing effort, and for me, that's always bad. So I want to play another game to kind of get the bad taste out of your mouth, But yeah, blitz for me. So Astrobate hanging tough here. All right, dude. I might have to step out for just like 2 minutes in midstream, but I will be right back. Rook d7. I don't like being pinned, man. Mr. Man. I don't like being pinned on that diagonal. I want to be able to play knight e5. Astrobate doing a great job placing his pieces, coordinated. I think Astrobate has a problem with pawns. He needs to work on his pawn play. That's really the main issue. Even rook b6, I have a very hard time getting into his position here. I feel like I'm even asking for trouble by playing knight e5, because that guy, or girl, if you prefer, it protects my king side. Rapid games take some time. Yesterday I noticed, not yesterday, but was it yesterday? Exact piece. Muchos gracias. Muchos gracias, señor. Astrobate. Second impulsive move from Astrobate was his second material donation. I think he simply had a hallucination that I couldn't take it for some reason. Always take. That's what one grandmaster friend of mine astutely jokes all the time. Poor Astrobate. Generosity to a fault. I could have played knight takes d7 there. But that's the opposite of generosity to a fault. That's materialism. We'll just keep it simple. I don't need more than one extra piece to win here. Happy Halloween. So, I'm talking about generosity, right? And I'm taking his stuff. Alright, Astrobate, good game, man. Thank you for the battle. Zen Chess is up. Very tough player. Followed by Morales. Underrated challenger. Arsenal is best. Oh, we haven't seen Arsenal best. Arsenal is best. If we have time to get to that challenge, I just want you to change it to casual. Alright, Zen Chess is up next. Let me just pause for 2 minutes and I'm going to be right back. Alright, ready to get back to work, guys. So, Zen Chess is up next. And then Morales, and we'll go from there. 7 plus 3. Weird Wednesday. I'm supposed to play unusual openings. But I already played knight h6 against Zen Chess. That's our favorite unusual opening. We played the a6 today, another favorite. So against e4, what else can I do that I don't typically do? Something within the e4, e5 realm, something offbeat, maybe the Latvian. It doesn't matter as long as it's something I don't typically play. It doesn't have to be a totally off-the-wall opening. It's something that I don't do normally. Thanks again, Clash Kid and Dim, for your donations. Guys, please support the stream. You can also send a PayPal donation anytime. Much appreciated. Okay, knight c3 now. And I had a game where I played f5. That was a bad idea. So Dracula, Frankenstein variation, is that what we're supposed to play here? Arsenal is best. Re-challenge with casual, please. He did so. Good job. I don't know why JCS is challenging me to... This is some kind of trolling me for Halloween. JCS is challenging me to... What happened, JCS? He's trolling me for Halloween with the micro bullet challenge. Whatever you call it. Hyper bullet. That's crazy, dude. That's our administrator and moderator, JCS. What's with that? What are you doing, man? Alright, f4. Hyper bullet. Now, the main line is d5. Let's try something different. I think I played a Vienna game with white like a couple weeks ago, and somebody did this, and I was like, wait. Yeah, I wanted to play the Dracula Frankenstein. You know, he's supposed to play... They have a thematic tournament. They had a thematic tournament before the stream. Bishop c4, knight takes e4, queen h5. A very famous variation that's very deep. But after e takes f4, he played d4 now. I was actually anticipating e5 there, so d4. Well, I guess now I'm supposed to play d5 anyway. What do we do? Do we transpose to something known here? What is this? Some kind of weird King's Gambit? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Bishop b4 clearly appears to be a move, but I don't know if I have a lot of faith in that. Well, it might be a good move. Bishop b4. Bishop takes f4, knight takes e4. Yeah, let's try this. Totally new position. Singo's the cat, the chess cat is here. New here. What's up? d4 is normal, isn't d5 the critical line against d4? I would assume, Arsenal, that d4, d5 would be almost like a King's Gambit transposition. CD, knight takes d5, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, bishop takes f4. Queen e4 check is probably not that good. But I'm not sure. But he can also play, obviously, d5, e5, knight e4. Instead, he played bishop d3. Okay, so a second chance to play d5, if you like, or something more hyper-modern. If I don't do something active, I will end up with a bad King's Gambit, essentially. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm pretending I'm playing the Chigorin defense. This is bad, though, because I'm playing without a clear plan. So blue-eyed albino says c5. That's a crazy idea. Very interesting. Hadn't occurred to me. Basically a souped-up snake Benoni. That might be a very strong move. I feel like I'm playing the Chigorin. Maybe not enough pressure on his center here, though. That's my problem. I'm afraid this is too passive. I should probably play d5. White is better. Can I try to hold on to that pawn? Seriously, with like knight h5? Not now. I mean, this starts to become an issue. Yeah, now my bishop out there looks pretty stupid. Looks pretty stupid, admittedly. So what if I do that? I like take and play knight h5 now? If I play knight h5, he'll have d5. So this looks really good for white. Knight h5, d5. Just passive for black. Knight e7. I don't trust that position for me. I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like white has an advantage in the center arsenal. I mean, this seems like an advantage to me. I appreciated your support. I appreciate your support, but I think white center is just very, very dominant here. So he has to be better. Maybe it's not that bad for me, but I'm not content with this position. If I castle e5, he's going to have tactics. Or not. Maybe not. Just feels like white's got a very standard position with advantage. White is just better here. Showing my lack of knowledge on the black side of the King's Gambit. Whatever this was. The Vienna Gambit. But I didn't know this was even a line. There's like no games in the opening encyclopedia at all. With e takes f4, it almost doesn't exist. So bishop g5 also the best move for white. That wasn't that obvious. Maybe I have to go crazy here with like h6 and g5. I don't know how I'm going to get out of the pin otherwise. I think I should do this. As insane as this seems, it might be the most rational decision for black. Otherwise, I might just be like totally crushed. I'll never get out of the pin if I don't do this. The Halloween theme. Seems like I had to do it. Otherwise, I would have been crushed immediately. I really wanted to place my other rook maybe on e8. Looks like now we got problems. to play b6. Very bad weaknesses on the white squares here. White's playing amazingly principled chess. This is like a bad Morozevich game. Now we're looking at possible sacrifices on g5, of course. It's an atrocious position for me. I mean, you could say rook e8, but that rook also has some defensive aspects here. I'm definitely not taking on d3 and fixing his pawn structure. So here I have knight e4, which apparently looks playable. Trading pieces would be to my benefit, most likely. I guess I could have considered knight to g4, but this is more forcing. At the end of the day, he might have the worst structure with these double pawns. So I must trade pieces. Dim says I equalize for sure. I'm not so convinced. Structurally, it's okay, but his pieces are still more active, and his king is still safer than my king. I feel like maybe I'm just being pessimistic. But the last move by me is pretty risky. But I have to play something. I was unable to get my pieces off the back rank. I have queen and both rooks stuck on the back rank. If I can just even get a draw, I would be happy. The opening was a disaster. We try to blockade at e6. Queen is not the best blockader, though. I had a very nasty game yesterday where I was lost in the endgame against somebody and managed to draw or win. They had a very strong heavy piece ending with the passed pawn on e5, similar situation. When did Zen become stronger than me? Bob, don't imply everybody's stronger than me. I'm pretty bad in certain positions. The King's Gambit is one of them, where my lack of experience makes me actually much worse than my overall strength here. I wish I could say I was equally good in every kind of position, but the truth is that I'm not. So here I guess we should start being materialistic and grabbing pawns. I guess I could trade queens with queen c5. I'm really afraid, though. I could even play rook takes. What's up on g4? g4, knight d4. Totally materialistic move, but if I get this pawn and I keep it, I'm winning with the outside pawn. This should win in any kind of generic situation. Now I'm better. That's a really powerful centralizing move, though. That's scary. What am I going to do? I have to retreat. Letting his pawn come to the 7th. Dangerous. He's almost winning now. Pawn on the 7th. And his time pressure play is excellent. Always. One of the best players I've ever seen with here on my stream at least, with the increment management. Just excellent. This is just a blunder. No doubt I was winning. It's easy to say that in retrospect. Having those ridiculous hallucinations. I haven't won too many games against lichess in a while. There was one or two. I did win last time, but that game wasn't convincing too. So this is just a draw. That was awful quick, threefold repetition. How was that a threefold repetition? Did somebody offer a draw? Was that really a threefold repetition? Are we sure? Man. No, I mean, just... I was winning in a small window, you know, probably, in this endgame. But it was too hard. This is already a draw here, by this point. Probably, what is this move? Move 37. I had already blundered. So now it's close to equal. Oh, the computer says I'm winning on a4. Wow. Or b takes c5. I played this. And even now, I'm better. And it took this position. I did that. I did this move. Seriously? I'm not alright. Like, I would say I could play rook a7. I still have chances to win here. Man, I know what's wrong with me. That was stupid. I could have at least really had serious winning chances here. I don't know what made me play rook c7. It's extremely dumb. It was a tough game. Alright, Morales is up next. Yeah, I don't know. I was so happy not to lose, really. You know, I didn't fight hard enough at the end. I mean, I should at least play rook a7 and get behind that pawn. And I'm not sure that's so easy for white to draw. Because you're down a pawn, and I had the further outside pawn, and my king could get into the center there. Maybe I'm actually winning. I felt that I already messed it up. Okay, that's the problem with being in this time pressure all the time. Unusual openings. So Morales, I'm gonna play f4 against you, who loves to play f4 in the Grand Prix of all people. I was a little too laissez-faire at the end, but he's so good in time pressure with increment. You like the bird? Leningrad, Dutch reversed. Well, he hasn't played he hasn't played c5, so it's not really a Dutch. Well, I guess it is. He's played d5. He doesn't have to play c5 for it to be a Dutch. Reverse bird. No, it's a Dutch reversed. c5 is main line. I often play c6, a kind of more conservative approach. Play the bird. The bird is the word for Halloween. No turkeys. Haven't seen Turkey Farm in a long time. He should be tuned into these American time streams. He's from Canada. So strange move now from Morales. Bishop f5. Not something you typically see. Want to try to engineer e4? Well, we can also play knight h4. Try to take that bishop out. Huh. Alright, let's see. Queen e1, we're going to support this advance. Very standard plan, guys. Queen e1. And now knight to c6. So how do we support this e4? Knight c3. Knight c3. d4, e4. Pawn takes f5. Knight c3. There's this thing here we've got to watch out for too. So this is interesting. Happy Halloween, Camel Culture. Camel Crusher. That's the new name for the week. Camel Crusher. That's awesome. Just thought of it now. Alright, you're not allowed to play that. You're not allowed to play e5. I will not tolerate such misbehavior. If you play e5 with my queen on e1, you gotta change your name to Camel Crusher. Just crushing camels. Animal rights groups will be up in arms. Camel Crush is a cigarette? Weird name for a cigarette. I was just thinking yesterday, maybe I'll take up smoking a pipe or something. Now that I'm old. Cigarettes are evil in our society. Scott Steiner fan 38 says he wants his old account name back. Alright. So here I thought I had something going. But maybe not. Bishop takes d5. We're going to be swiping material. If I was to play d4, he has oodles of counterplay, I think. That sounds really gross, Bob. Man, this is going to be fun. Grabbing all sorts of pawns and then doing it guerrilla warfare style. I'm normally not that materialistic, but look at how active all of Morales' pieces are. Both rooks act well. Never mind. Not this one. We did shut that down. This rook is active. These two pieces are active. This is active. Everything's good. Lots of mobility. But the rook on e8 is not. My queen side is still at home, but we are up a pawn. And our structure is quite healthy. So in the Netherlands, these... JCS, what was up with that hyper bullet challenge, by the way? Just trolling me? JCS is our moderator. Soltico has stopped in once or twice, but he's nursing a bad foot. I will send an email out to remind everybody that that Thursday is our subscriber stream. Thursday, 4:30 p.m. EDT here. Great move, c5. Kind of pressurizing. Is he going to play c4? Nah, that's probably too much. He's just putting it into a holding. We're being put into a holding pattern. There's no d4. Nils says, as in Marlboro, has a mini ball in the filter. Oh, that's gross. That's so gross. You might as well chew gum while you're smoking. Alright, king h1. Let's do it. We've got knight a3, knight c2, or knight d2, knight b3. Queen d7. Develop the pieces. Probably here. Do have to watch out for potential sacrifices like knight takes d3. I don't think that's happening. You wanted to play a bullet game. But I really, now I really like, I don't know how to explain this. I'm proud of the fact that I have no bullet games, basically, JCS. I'm actually proud of that 0 next to my name. I would feel dirty if I had like one bullet game, we can't spoil my perfect record in bullet, basically, with an offhand hyper bullet game. Oh, there would be hyper bullet. So, still a lot of pressure from black. White needs to play well technically here. Life is too short to play bullet chess. That's my theory. People might argue the opposite. Yeah, I'm one of the few title players with 0 bullet games. Uh-oh, we've got a message for Amy. Let's see. Totally random. Did you guys notice anyone who has Facebook? I don't really use it very much, but you'll get these moments where it just randomly sends you someone else's Facebook action. It's just random, right? I never really think about it, but it just sent me like a totally random message that someone did something on Facebook. Like, that's weird. But I don't get these constantly, It has to be just like once in a while it chooses to do that. If it did it more often, yeah, I would be like turning it off. It doesn't happen very often, so fortunately. Yesterday I did have more callers from insurance programs. Now, okay, we got a problem here on the queen side. Morel's playing a sophisticated positional game, really. I mean, he's got long-term compensation. It's hard to deny. Outstripping me in development. I guess I ought to think about taking this. Yeah. We're gonna do it. Admittedly, his bishop's pretty good. It's a good bad bishop. We'll start putting things on white squares, and hopefully, good knight versus bad bishop. From a technical standpoint, kind of a boring game. Your bishop is as good as my knight, sir. It would appear. Still got lasting pressure there. I think you should have taken and play in e4. You should have taken and played e4, Antonio, definitely. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, right? Like Kenny Rogers. That was the moment to play bishop takes d2, when I think your bishop becomes... now your bishop becomes inferior to my knight, actually. This was the key moment for Morales to accept the fate of his bishop. Or maybe not. I'm tempted to play g4. I might be getting a little too ambitious here. Wow, combative. He played e4, I mentioned this earlier. Oh no. He overlooked g5. Actually, it was just a totally accidental win of a piece. I did not play for that cheapo, I swear. I wasn't even thinking about g5. My idea was to undermine the f5 pawn. But he did lose a piece. Unfortunate for black. But I think the key was really trading the bishop for the knight when you had the chance to do it. Well, he's resigning here. Alright. So, we're out of subscribers. No, we've got Nils, one last subscriber for today. Is portfolio a normal English word? As in a report of completed activities? Yes. It's one of those borrowed words. Where does it come from originally? What is portfolio? The origin of portfolio. Cornholio. No. Alright. Beavis and Butthead references are really, really out of date. I played knight f3 and you played knight f6. Now we have to do b4 again. What can I do besides b4? Let's just play like knight c3. Arsenal is up on that. So guys, again, tomorrow is our subscriber stream with game analysis. If you want to submit a game before the subscriber stream tomorrow, if I can talk properly, before the subscriber stream tomorrow, which will be 4:30, you can submit a game here on lichess to my account, Sparkle Horse. Just feel free to send in a game. Now, what I was gonna do. Something weird here. The Verisov cargo. I can't do the butthead laugh, Arsenal. Sorry. If I get fired from being a chess streamer, I'll probably go into like recording audiobooks or something. If I don't go to the post office, get a job there. Those are my two dream jobs. I don't know if I'll be good enough at either of them, but now d5. That I wasn't expecting. I really wasn't expecting it. Most people would play CD and be happy, but he played d5 through me. This is a good move. we got to go fully rapport. Trying to play the Queen's Gambit accepted reversed. It's a worldwide word with Latin origins. I like that, worldwide word. Try to say that really fast, a lot. I'm going to play the reverse Queen's Gambit accepted that I used to play with black back in the day. I'll have a fun game, but I'm not a subscriber, said Arsenal's best. We remember you, Arsenal's best, and it'd be my pleasure. I've got confusion because you're next to Arsenal fan, Rich. So knight a6. Wow. Well, I don't see any way I can really seriously try to hang on to that pawn. That wasn't my intention. But we might be able to play the funky e4. Anyway, I wanted to play bishop g5. Ponda's not here, though, Arsenal fan Rich. He's in Budapest. We have, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have only scrub Pondas. What do you call the players who play in, like, football leagues if there's a strike? We call them scrubs. Hello. That's micro Ponda and macro Ponda. Hello. I don't have the cool voice of the other Panda. I'm just a regular Panda. My name is Macro Panda. So we always like to have fun with our stuffed animals here. Post office. Yeah, I'm serious. I'll be a mail carrier if I have to give up. Alright, so Nils is sacking a pawnage here. I'm down with this material. I've got to do it. Interesting. Wow. Dude, are you serious? What a crazy idea from Nils. Amazing stuff. Amazing. With two syllables. This move, come on, dude, with the queen b6. You gotta leave me alone. Can't believe it. Just absolutely evil move. I'm gonna try to defend myself here. Neil's sacrificing material for the initiative. I'm fearful, but I have faith. What does that make me? A dead man? Alright. Queen d4 is a little more centralized than other locations. So, you've gone from, that's an interesting life. It's almost like being a chess player. Professional breakdancer, and now he's an Uber driver. See, in Europe you'd be more respected for that. Alright, now Nils is done with the immediate gratification moves. We need to try to trade stuff. Alright. Gotta be a little bit careful, but I honestly don't believe that black has quite enough compensation here. He has compensation, but it shouldn't be enough to beat a strong master. Scabs. Scrub Pondas. Thank you for that. So here we are. Primitive attacking plans. We're obviously playing for mate, right, Acerbate? Always play for mate. Be as direct as you can. Not like Soltigo, who I call Subtletigo. There could be, you know, questions about the Black King side, but I don't see a second piece really entering the fray for me just so easily. But maybe we could turn the corner with something like knight to d4, knight f5. In order to do that, though, I'm really going to have a little bit of help. So maybe we can take him out on time. Nils, did you gain rating points? Up to 1829. Have you always been that high? Have you been gaining lately? Now I have the proverbial like choice of which bishop to take. Oh no. Queen takes h6 leaves his king. I would think that leaves his king in a very bad spot, honestly. My original intention was to take the other bishop because his other bishop was a better attacking piece. But I don't really see an attack for black, and I feel like I'm given the green light to pursue my own threats. Though I don't know if it's realistic to expect to be able to like play for mate here, being that I don't have any pieces really able to attack h7 at the moment, or g7 or anywhere. I mean, this maneuver I talked about a moment ago, but that's easy enough to prevent probably. Cheesy. It always looks like chi. I can't see the S. Cheesy. What's up? So queen e6. Happy Halloween to everybody. Queen e6, not what I expected. Double attacking a2. It also has the ability to throw itself over here and defend the king side to some extent. I was thinking rook d4. It also has the ability to go to f5, which would defend said square as well. But he's walking into knight d4 actually. I mean, this should be good. I knew there was something weird about queen there. Now obviously the g2 pawn is Halloween candy. You want some candy? Help yourself. Well, but how do I finish him off? Yeah, good question. h4, king h8. I like h4. That's an evil move. He just lost on time. I wonder if h4 was even good. How does it rank? It's not the top couple of moves, but it's alright. Alright, creative pawn sack there. Definitely would work in like really fast blitz. Nils. But you have to follow up more accurately, I guess. Alright, Michael Stedler. This guy's next. Then Tsubasa. The Arsenals. The Arsenal family. JCS still challenging me to get out of here. With a 7+3. Pawn blunder. It was a pawn blunder. Okay, I think you're supposed to play e6 there, Nils, instead of knight a6. Knight a6 is interesting, but it's not really necessary. Although oftentimes that might be a more aggressive way of regaining the pawn, where you got more to gain, let's say, than the routine e6. But I think the routine e6 was correct there. Alright, what are we going to play for unusual openings today? We've got 30 minutes left in the stream. I'm running out of unusual openings. Nobody's cooperating with me. The Ponda h4. Let's see what we can find with e4. But it doesn't have to be unsound. You know, I'm not going to play the bomb cloud. I played the King's Gambit already today. Let's try something different. Portuguese opening with bishop b5. Someone was here earlier from Portugal, and now we can play the Portuguese. This is the so-called Portuguese opening. They're calling for the Halloween gambit. Even with please, the magic word. Now, bishop c5, the Portuguese. Normally you see c6. I think is one of black's best moves. Yeah, Asterbait, ask him. Did he play the Halloween gambit today? Okay, against this bishop c5, I can't mess around too much. And I think that he played quite well in our first game. Put up a very tough resistance. So, I don't want to take black too lightly. I guess just knight f3 here is pretty mundane. But what are you supposed to do? We can play knight e2. Knight e2 is a bit passive. Let's try it though. It's like the Alapin opening. e4, e5, knight e2. You got the bishop outside the pawn chain. c3 is book, right? Actually, that's a good suggestion from Asterbait, not Asterbait, Arsenal. c3. I mean c6. Arsenal is dyslexic like me. Right. Exactly. Absolutely. 100%. c6 would have been... I wouldn't call it book because no one really plays the Portuguese opening, but... So it feels like white is pretty passive here. Don't play bishop b5, kids. It's not really a good move. I don't think it's a real opening, Arsenal. That's the problem with 2 bishop b5. So we can't call c6 book. You wrote a study on destroying the king's gambit. e4, e5, f4 takes, knight f3, g5, h4, d5. This has the look of a mouse slip. I'm offering him a take back. I'm pretty sure he mouse slipped a5. Now if he plays a6, that'll be like confirmation. If he doesn't play a6, I'm going to feel very stupid about offering a take back. Maybe he didn't. You know, maybe it wasn't a mouse slip. I mean, it's kind of a weird move, but it would be very typical to play a6. Thus, the mouse slip take back offer. If he plays it again, I understand. Apparently, it was a mouse slip, though there's no way to confirm because I don't... Maybe he's on the Twitch, though. I can't remember now. Michael Stedler. Are you on the Twitch? The Twitch? Or Twitch? Are you on Twitch? Here, Black Knight G4. Well, if you're... Yeah, Knight G4. Stop giving him good ideas, okay? Knight G4, it's coffee house. Arsenal. Don't give him any good ideas. You know, it's very possible that Arsenal is actually right about this one. You know, Knight G4, I underestimated. It could just outright refute D3, to be honest. It's hard to believe, but I guess I can go D4 or something like that in the spirit of two knights defense or something. You know, so we'll have to see. I mean, it's possible, yeah. Because if I castle and allow Queen H4, he's just got a winning position. So after Knight G4, I'd have to play D4. Things do get pretty strange from there on out. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't allow that. So Arsenal's suggestion of C3, he was talking about the reverse position. But anyway, C3. Probably not a bad idea to be able to play D4 at some point. Now, I don't know which way to put my bishop here. We'll stay active. But I got to be able to play this to fend off Knight G4. So the knight sack was pretty cool, but a bit beyond your ken. Asterbait, which knight sack were you talking about? So we got time for 2 more games. It looks like at least one of the arsenals we'll get to play today. We'll see how the time goes. I can guarantee I'll play the maximum. That's the maximum though, because this game's going to take a little while. Yeah, I can't guarantee more than 2 more games. Okay, so now I feel comfortable castling. You know, he could try knight g4. He was sort of waiting for me to castle, you get the feeling, actually. Yeah, bishop e3, Schlechter style. It looks a little insipid. I don't think I like that here. h3 is slow. He's ready to play d5, to be honest. Maybe I should play bishop g5. But it's really strange. Bishop g5, then h6, bishop h4, g5, bishop g3. I'm not even sure if that's good for me. Percy Hepworth. Weird. Queen e1. This move feels too strange, actually. I want to play king h1, but I need to stop knight g4. And if I play knight g3, he plays d5. Feels like with a good game. This is passive, but I don't know what else to do. So, strong response. And I'm not in love with white's position, but it's probably okay. Looks like black's quite active. He's also got more time than me. He's 1300 in blitz, 1200 in bullet. Okay. You're a little better than that. At least you got really good fundamentals. Happy Halloween, guys. From the Pandas and myself. Enjoy your Halloween candy. Is it pretty popular in the UK, Arsenal? I'm just trying to recall if I was ever... I don't think I was ever in the UK during Halloween time. Alright. So, I mean, I know that it's American holiday. I'm just curious how much it's caught on over there over the years. This bishop b7 looks like a good move. Man, this guy's putting pressure on me. Ghostly greetings. He's ready to pile on with c5 now. 1200 in blitz. Oh, it is a big thing there. Okay, that's cool. You're our closest relative to the United States, essentially. So I would think the fashions from here would catch on quickly. It's not a new concept, obviously. Actually, I mean, I think our traditions come from there. So our tradition of Halloween is probably based on older traditions from the UK, which are even from older pagan rituals, which Arsenal fan is obviously expert in. Alright, let's just go on. So this guy's not 1200. I mean, let's just get this straight. Why is he 1200 in bullet, 1300 in blitz? He's playing really, really well. Yeah, the eve of All Saints Day. Tomorrow. I don't know about all countries, but in like Romania, I know it's like the Day of the Dead in Mexico. Catholic countries celebrate, go to the Halloween, Day of the Dead. This is the day to go visit your dead, family members in the cemetery and stuff like that. The British calendar. Tea Day. Football. Wow, he swung the bishop back to e7. That seems kind of slow. Especially when you stutter. This has been a weird decision by black to play like bishop c5, bishop e7. Now we're starting to build up some real threats. He has knight c5, but we have bishop back to c2. We're just holding everything together, and we can build up pressure now. I don't see any winning tactic, though, and our knight is actually not well placed on d2, just securing the pawn on e4. Now he has knight e6, and I'll just have to settle for some sort of small edge, but how can black be 1300? He's very sophisticated. Knight c5, knight e6. He's like 1300 going on 1900. You know, normally you see someone this rating, you know, actually he's 1700. Okay, he's 1300 in blitz though, which is surprising. He's gonna increase his rating very much soon. Maybe I have a tactic, I don't know. Did I miss something here with bishop h6? Probably. Very possibly. Bishop h6. Knight e8. It's not going to work. Yeah, as I said, very sophisticated player. For someone who's supposed to be 1200 in bullet. Defended everything. Black is, yeah, maybe it wasn't so silly. He's defending very well in reality. And I don't see how I'm supposed to make progress. And I can keep his knight off of f4. Maybe he goes back to bishop c5, ironically. Now I took away my own knight square on g3, but it was enough of this. I didn't like knight coming into f4. I guess he couldn't, though. Yeah, maybe I was hesitant there when I should have just played knight g3. Followed up. Back to c5. I don't have any sort of tactics like I was looking for. This is stupid. Bishop g5. Am I going to blunder anything here? Bishop takes f5, queen takes f5, knight takes e4 with tactics. Look how good he is. Now even knight d3 is interesting. Yeah, this guy is not 1300 in blitz. I mean, I don't know how that's even possible. Maybe that's unbelievable. He's more like 1900. Yeah, 93, strong move, well calculated. Black is fully equal, probably, after this move. Great move. I have to be careful that I'm not worse, probably. Right about now. Now he's got control of the open file. I have time for like one more game. Maybe we'll try to squeeze in one more. So he makes a positional mistake now, which is not surprising given his rating, but surprising given how well he's played this game. To give me this knight on d5. And then he just sacks in exchange, so he played a fantastic game and then kind of gives it away with two moves, like positional mistake there and now. Obviously, you know, sacrificing the exchange when it wasn't absolutely necessary, kind of panicking. This should be an easy, like, tactical win. Nefedov-esque. That's Weiss Monsters. Nefedov-esque. Right. Nefedov is one of our regulars. And he's got the very undervalued blitz rating going on. But he also has the ability to play extremely well. But I think, again, it's a question of how different... I was talking about the King's Gambit, how I'm terrible, let's say, if you put me in a situation that I don't have much familiarity, like a King's Gambit, for example. Against Zen chess, I was very much out of my element in the King's Gambit type position. I probably play like 2100 in like, say, on the black side of the King's Gambit type situation. I think we all have those certain positions. Now, this guy's defending really well. Setting up blockades. I mean, this is pretty subtle. I've got to open another line. Queen e4 was pressure on c4. Right, right. So Nefedov's ECF rating is quite solid. That's why I joke about his bullet rating. His blitz rating here. You know, that's pretty credible. Black finally coming unglued now, slowly. Yeah, we had to open another front. That's too much. Black played really well in this game. Okay, quickly, I'm going to play Tsubasa and try to play that last game. I'm very short of time. We'll try to do it. Don't want to disappoint you guys. Tsubasa's not here. I don't want to play knight f3, but I did it automatically. Okay, play something weird. Unusual openings. The Old Indian reversed. I had an ECF rating, and it's like they hide it or something. It's really weird. You have to go through all sorts of research to find out what my ECF rating was. I'm trying to move twice again. Tsubasa is 21-27. Look out. We've never played before? Okay. I'm basically playing the Old Indian reversed here. But he played quietly with e6. So it's like a King's Indian attack against the French. Very classic opening. Mine was 211. I think this is usually a mistake to take here with the c5 played. Giving up a strong point on d5. Kind of a classic strategic error. Error. Black has given up the d5 square. Error. c3. You know, the standard rook e1, bishop f1, try to get control of d5, maybe with my knight. This is a very, very typical thing that you've got to get a grip on if you play the King's Indian. I had almost identical game in springtime, and it was painful against this Indian kid who was maybe 2150. He was outplayed the whole game, and he ended up drawing it. I was crazy. I was better the whole freaking game, and I couldn't finish him off. It was terrible. Just terrible and painful. Alright. So... this, I think, is the better square than, say, c2. You see a lot of people put their queen on that square in King's Indian positions. I I never had very good results. I mean, one tournament in England I did have a decent result in York, but my Hastings results were always kind of subpar. So my BCF or ECF rating is a little bit lower than I would like it to be. Still, it's credible, but I felt that I'm a little underrated. Although I didn't play there at my peak years. I played there before and after. Maybe once. Yeah, I was still pretty strong in 2006. Queen c7 now. We're just going to get control of the knight's outpost on c4. Still nearly top 100, really? Surprising. Your chess population must be declining in the ESCF. ESCF. The ECF. Now what now? Knight h4. How do we make progress here? Kind of a classic position. King's Indian. King's Indian Petrosian variation. Not sure about this knight h4 move. Oh no. I'm trying to induce him to do some kind of crazy move there. Alright, he just blundered. That was fortunate. Dropped an exchange. And now we're pretty much in control. I'm going to try to play one more game after this. But note how we've been focusing on this square. That's the goal. To take advantage of his move early. Trading off that point, you know, on e4. I think that's our whole strategy. This is a good try. I'm not sure this is a great move, actually, by me. You know, I was a little impatient here. He's immediately finding, you know, a chance with the weaknesses of these squares here on c4 and b3. Hey, everyone has a job here on Mars. And you chose chess professional. Of course, I replied. Wait, what is that? Like a Jesse Cry story or something? What are you talking about? Acerbate. It sounds like a conversation I had with someone recently. Hmm. The knight is awfully strong to be trading it off, isn't it? Tsubasa reminds me of Chewbacca for some reason. Exacerbate. Play on words. So it's pretty marginal to be a chess professional even in Europe. But in the United States, people are like, what? You do what? That's why I moved to Europe in the first place. One of the reasons, anyway. Chess is more respected. So now we see the real Tsubasa, master of defense. And again, we have another game where I'm struggling to get my rooks into the game. Much like the last game, like the exact same blockading strategy, essentially. And this rook is ill. Very hard to do this. Very hard to break out. We can see why he's 2100. He's like 2100 in rapid and bullet, but obviously good at defense. Up a clear exchange, and it's still very hard to make progress here. That's not good. Alright, what are we going to do? Play rook f1. We'll try to rethink this and play for f4. If you guys are interested in lessons, I do have some availability. If anyone is looking for a chess teacher, I don't always have availability. I have a limited amount of time and I can only work with so many people. So time to time, someone stops taking lessons or I just need to take on a new student or two. And I will, advertise here. I'm letting you guys know that if you're interested, we have probably time to take on one or two new people who want to do lessons on a regular basis. So if you're interested in that, you can contact me, videochesstrainer@gmail.com. So that's videochesstrainer@gmail.com. If you want to take lessons, let me know. And if you're serious, I'm willing to do weekly or bi-weekly lessons with one or two new students. Anyway, guys, check out my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow evening with another stream. What I call the subscriber stream. So F4, man, this is very strong defending. I've never played him before, but he's like, most people are not so good at D. But he's played Queen C7. This is a very pointed move, basically against F4, Rook E8 again, against everything, against. So extremely strong prophylactic understanding. That's not common. Now he just simply hung an exchange at one point. Very hard for me to break through. We're going to have to find a second front here. Create a second front, if you will. Perfect blockade by black. And also extremely fast. I should be able to make my extra rook count. But with the blockade, I cannot break through. Both of my rook, my bishop, everything stopped here. You're looking for a drafts coach. It's fantasy sports or regular drafts. Stupid joke. Queen D7. Ah, he's after the pawn. Well, I'm not sure if there's anything I can really do to save that pawn. Ponda. We might have another way to attack him on the G file. Maybe that's more realistic. But we'll keep F4 in mind. I just said keep F4 in mind, right? Could prove important. I played G5, which is a risky move, I would think. He now has pawn for the exchange. Played G5. What are his ratings like? Very fast in bullet, but not so high rated in blitz. A little higher in rapid. Antonio, there's a plan. Right, H4. That is the plan. G4, G5. It's not a lot of choices for white, really. I'm going to play one last game, guys. This last game against Arsenal fan. I'd like to take more challenges, but it's too late. We're going over time. It's already 2:30, and I am supposed to be done. But I am going to play one last game, because I promised. So Tsubasa is getting low on the clock. We're trying to play h4. Who said h4? Oh, Scoble. Knight c5, king g2, or h4 right away. We probably shouldn't wait with this. Is he seriously? Oh, I should think about taking that, maybe. Wow, I just freaked out. I didn't see my queen was hanging. My god. Did not see my queen was hanging. Do we try to play d6? Is this a blunder? Possibly. But also, if he takes the pawn, I might break through. What's 2 pawns when you're up the exchange anyway? Rook d8, d7. Rook takes d7. Take, rook d1, knight f6, rook d8 check. It looks like I'm breaking through. I'll probably win my pawn back. But if he takes, so he can't take. Stealing a pawn. Guys, check out my subscriber stream tomorrow night, 4:30 EDT. I'm going to sign off in advance here. We've got one last game. I'm going to try to play this, but we are over time, so let's hurry it up. Ponomarev, world class. Ponomarev had 7 pawns for a rook. That's a lot of pawns. He's a good player. He's like, what now, board 3 for Ukraine? Technical win. Still going to take some work. We got both the rooks in the game here. That's ugly, but forced. He must surrender. We want to keep our outside pawn. Yeah, I guess this is the easiest way. Really no sense in continuing this. I gotta go, so I would resign here. He's not into resigning. Pick a side. Any side. Mibasa es Subasa. That's funny, man. Alright, last game against Arsenal. Arsenal 1. Sorry, Arsenal 2. This is absolutely the last game, guys. I have to go. I am late for a date with a white rabbit. Alright, B3. It's working the widescreen wipers. Nice joke. Have a great Halloween, guys. Enjoy this freak show. And I'll see you tomorrow. BD6. Usually that's played a move later. It's interesting. Well, usually it's played after E3. Knight F6. Knight A3. After E3, Knight F6. This is kind of a weird move order. What I did here. I can see giving up the bishop. It's not unreasonable. I've got to get to work, guys. No more challenges for today. French defense reversed. Of a sort. No Halloween costume. I'm sorry, JCS. I wanted to do it. It's been a very difficult fall for me. I wish I had time to play games for a living. What do you do for a living? Oh, I play games. That goes over really well on dating sites. You know, go to Match.com and create your profile. There's nothing sadder than grown man in a costume. I remember this poker streamer was doing it once on Halloween. How weird that seemed. Looked like he was in his parents' basement or something. This guy with $1 million scores. All right. No, it was I think it was a charity stream though. This was a long time ago. Cosplay. Chess cosplay. You're scaring us again. Too much information. I wanted the panda costume. I mean, that would be the only way to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. The panda costume would be appropriate. So we've got a little edge here against Arsenal, kind of a classic position. Much easier to play for white, but he has some control, especially along the E line, so we're looking for long-term this piece to be the decisive factor. The Jolly Joker. The bishop on b2, the... Uh-oh. You can do that? The Jolly Joker. That's not a joker. He broke free. Not nice. You're only opening up the position for the two bishops. You can hear me saying that. I mean, yes, there is a benefit. It's one of those paradoxes. D5 was good for him to get free of the backwardness along the D file, but at the same time, there's a negative aspect. My bishops could become stronger. The costume would be awkward, a little strange. Bob is a steampunk. Uh-oh. Queen h4. It's the Budapest Gambit. Too solid. Too solid, Arsenal. You gotta stop this. You're gonna make me have to grind you down in a drawn position or something at this rate. Asterbate has extreme agoraphobia. He's afraid of what is that material called that they make out of wool or whatever? That makes sense. What is that special kind of wool that starts with A? The other rook to d8. We've got a very, very small endgame advantage here. We can try to grind Arsenal. Alpaca. Yeah, but there's a special kind of another word. There's another word for the type of sweater. A type of sweater. Alpacas. Oh man, dude, you're just too solid. Gotta stop. Angora, right. Angora, right. I want to say Asterbate has severe agoraphobia. It reminds me of Plinko. If you guys watch The Price is Right. Haven't caught any lately. We're trying to break up these pawns. But Asterbate, Arsenal lost his mind. He just lost his mind. And probably the game. Because the pawn takes pawn. So we're threatening to make a queen. This is possibly what Arsenal missed. Agoraphobia. That's a weird word, Angora. Not a word you say very often. But it looks like Arsenal is going to lose this one. There might be one last trick. One last trick doesn't work. One last trick doesn't work. Just keep telling yourself that. Alright, we're going to take this and hope indeed that the one last trick doesn't work. Another game winning the exchange. Another solid opponent bites the dust. That's the trick, but it doesn't work. Because we have the magic move. Rook b8. Rook b8. Pin it and win it. Too good to be true. Back rank. There's no trapping those bishops now. We're home free. R.I.P. Waste monsters. Gotta love this one. The one on D4. Thank you for the zombie. For the Halloween theme, actually it's a shame Merle Dixon's not here, but it's really a small wonder. Probably is his favorite holiday. Being a zombie and everything. It's kind of, he was busy. He was too busy to join us today. I will see you guys later. I'm out of here. Great games. Don't forget to subscribe to stream tomorrow night. 4:30 EDT. Have a great and safe, happy Halloween. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 4:30 EDT. Once again, thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.